How's everybody doing tonight? Getting everything rolling. Going on Facebook here in just a minute. Pull up YouTube so I can see all the chat stuff. There we go. Alright. We got muted. And we'll get Facebook going. I don't know nobody's here yet, but hello. There we go. We got Facebook going and we got YouTube going. We're good. Wish I could attach this chat window, but I can't. Alright. How's everybody doing tonight? Playing my PRS SE tonight. This one is loaded with the absurd pickups, and let me just jump in the comments here and tag Grady. There it is, add absurd pickups. Alright, I just dropped the link in the comments to absurd pickups. That is what is in the PRS I am playing tonight. It is the Indonesian version. I do have the actual PRS CE. It is hanging behind me on the wall, the USA version. This is a fantastic guitar. I mean, it's and it sounds really good with these new pickups in it. Another plug for Grady and Absurd. He did a really good job with this. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm trying to kick my frickin' looper around because my cord got all tangled when I moved my chair. Because I got to have the looper tonight. Alright, I think that'll work. I really should prepare for this more, shouldn't I? Anyway, so if you're in, pop in, say hello, let me know who you are. We will be pretty much playing out of C major tonight, because that's one key that's really easy because there's no sharps, there's no flats, it's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's it. You know, there's no sharp, no flat, so it's really easy to remember what notes you need to get to and where you can navigate. Hey man, how's it going? Madison is in the room. And some of this lesson is going to be actually really directed towards you. I had a couple of different lessons this week. I had one Tuesday night and I had one Wednesday afternoon. One Tuesday night, he just played me a song. He's like, here, you just probably find this cool. It was Kenny, a real good buddy of mine that I go over and we say it's a guitar lesson, but we hang out, we play guitar, and we have fun. But he showed me this really cool video of a song I haven't heard since probably 1992 when it was actually out. But it's Richard Marx. Take My Man Card Away if you want to. But it's the song Right Here Waiting for You. If you were alive at that time, you heard that song, whether you listened to country or you listened to rap. Somewhere at some time, you heard that song. Probably in a movie, a commercial, who knows, but you've heard the song. But he played me a really killer fingerstyle version of it, and I was like, oh, well, I need to learn that. That's really good. So I've been working on that. Don't have it really ready to embarrass myself with at this point. So I'm not going to do that. But what it is also good for is, in lesson I had with Madison, he was asking about licks, and learning songs. You just learn the songs, that the licks that are in the song, and I really sat and thought about it, and it kind of clicked early today at work. Um, the Richard Marx tune, to be able to play it the way it was on the video I saw, you have to play the rhythm and you have to play the melody line. And I think that's probably something a lot of us, myself included, forget a lot of the time, is the melody line. That's pretty much the most important part of the song. Yes, the guitar solo is very important, but to the average listener, it's it's the melody of the song. It's the words. Can they hum it? Um, but anyway, the Richard Marx song, "They're Right Here Waiting for You." It's a real simple progression, so it's a good one to kind of practice over. It's just four chords: a C major, a G major, an A minor, and an F major. This is just the chorus part. We're not getting into the verses and all that. I just want to do a kind of a broke down way to find your to find some lead licks using the melody of the song. So if you guys want me to talk about something else, by all means, let me know. At some point, I will go into another session about Fender, because I've solved Fender's problem. If they would listen to me, all their problems would be solved. But they're not going to listen to me, but I'm going to tell you all about it. But if you don't have your guitar, grab a guitar. This is going to be something you can play along with and probably figure, hopefully by the end of the night, be doing your own, figure out how to build a solo around the melody. So the progression, like we said, it was C, G, A minor, and F. The actual rhythm of it was something like, it just follows that same progression all through the chorus. So I like pure and simple. Pure and simple, and a lot of people, and I'm guilty of it, I want to, there's times I just want to burn. That's all I want to do, is just as hard and as fast and as aggressive as I can possibly play. And sometimes it's called for, and sometimes I'm sure I and many other players have done it when they didn't need to do it. So I'm not going to burn through this lesson. It's going to be, it'll be something you could burn through, but for tonight we'll keep it pure and simple, just like Chad said. And guys, the Patreon is completely active now. There's a bunch of different tiers depending on what you want. A lot of you guys will work out something. There's a $3 tier where you just get uncut videos. The stuff I put on YouTube, you'll get it without getting commercials, and I think you get tabs on that one. The $5 tier, you get all that stuff, plus you get a weekly live stream that I'm going to be doing. That will actually start next week, and I think I'm going to do it Wednesday nights, because I'm a part of a live stream with Andy Wood, his Patreon group, on Wednesday nights from 6:30 to 8:30, roughly. So I think if I start mine at 8:30, go till 9:30, 10 o'clock, surely some of you guys could stay up that late if you're interested in it. But that would be the $5 tier, and there's always a try it for 7 days thing, and I'll probably post the first few completely free. You just got to create a Patreon account, come over, and then as you go up, there's tiers to get private lessons. There's a $25 for one lesson a month, $50 for two a month, and $100 for a lesson every week. The lessons are done through Zoom. I don't have time to drive to 100 different places, and it's much easier to do it this way. We can see each other, we can talk to each other. It's not like here on Facebook where I can't see or hear you. So check it out if you get a chance. But let's do Richard Marx, of all things. Hopefully somebody did not just tune in and hear me say, let's do Richard Marx, because they probably turned right back off. You know, the things you do. What is the song, The Things You Do for Love? Don't remember who do. I don't know why that popped in my head. Jeez. Thank you guys for not like completely tuning out on me tonight. Alright, I am going to use my looper and record that progression through and just get it going. Still have an old loop on there. Now let's do it. Close enough. Close enough. We may have to have a little stutter there. We'll just call it jazz at that point. Haven't seen Sam chime in yet. He must be mowing the yard or something. It is still daylight outside. But for those of you who are here is what we're going to do. So the melody line of that song, I'm sure you've sung it in your head while I was playing that rhythm. It'll end up on that at the very end. Or you can go there. But anyway, our notes are going to be G, F, E, D, C, B, A, and a G. If we just stick to that melody line in that position. So I'm going to start this and play along with it. So there's your melody. Pretty easy melody to pick up on. You can throw that A in there because it actually goes to that out of the chorus, but it can work there, but you probably don't want to do it just with this progression. But if you find those notes, C, F, E, D, C, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, and G. That's your C scale. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's it. The next trick is you can play the melody as the solo, especially if you're playing instrumental. I'm going to mess this up really bad, but the version I was trying to figure out was like... You get the gist. I don't have it yet. But I'm trying to combine the rhythm part and that. So there it works to just do the melody, but what you can do is take those same notes that are in that melody. Don't necessarily play the melody, but stick to just two strings for a minute, or one string, and you're kind of limited. You only have three notes here, and two notes there. So it really limits you. So you gotta make the most of those notes in that position. But I'm gonna turn this back on and just kind of show you what I mean. Let me go to the neck pickup here. Couple of little flubby notes in there, but you kind of get the gist of don't necessarily play the melody line, but work around the melody line, and you can move it all over the neck. Then if we did it up here, then it kind of opens you up to doing. And at this point, after you can do just that melody line and play some solos with just that, then when you start moving it, you start running into other licks that you know. Let me do it in this position this time. What I did right there is, if you know your A minor pentatonic scale, I just took that melody and bridged it in with the A minor pentatonic scale, with all the licks that I do in a, your basic A minor pentatonic solo, without any kind of embellishments, added, this flat sixth, whatever's, just your basic with some bends. So you can do just the A minor solo. I'm just going to play in A minor. That's it. I'm not going to worry about the melody. I'm just going to solo over this in A minor. There towards the end, I blended it, started throwing in the melody lines again. So that's a way you build licks. I guess, is the only way. If you don't want to just learn a song, take the lick, and move it to another song, which does work. I mean, every lick I played there, I probably did that with, because I learned a lot of this stuff before I knew what I was doing. Like most of us probably did. You sat down with a record and you listened, and you probably learned it the wrong way. But over time, you saw somebody play it and said, "Oh, wait a minute, they're doing that right, and I'm not." But it helps you learn that way. You still learn, and it develops your ear. I think that's a big problem a lot of people have now. Is if you want to learn Crazy Train, you don't pull up the CD or the video or whatever and sit there and listen and try to figure it out. A lot of people just go to Ultimate Guitar and go, okay, here it is. Now, do I use Ultimate Guitar? Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. But I do, before I ever resort to Ultimate Guitar, I sit down and I try to learn the song by ear. And I get as close as I can. And if I'm not totally happy with a solo part, or there's something I'm hearing, and sometimes it's because there's two or three guitars playing on a track, but I will jump over to Ultimate Guitar and just see, you know. And sometimes it's wrong too, you know. It's humans writing it, I hope. Could be Cylons, for those of you who watch Battlestar Galactica. If you do go over the Patreon, just so you know, each tier has kind of a strange name. As you go up, there's like Dragon, Ashaman, Band of the Red Hand, Soldier, Dedicated. Um, I'm going to let you all figure out what all those mean. That comes from, I'll give you this, it comes from my favorite series of books. I dig stuff like Lord of the Rings and, Game of Thrones, of course. Although I am not reading any more Game of Thrones books until they're done. I'm just not going to do it. I don't care if he releases a new one. I'm not reading it until they're done. And if they don't get finished, I'm not reading them. Pfft. That's it. I waited 14 books to get the Robert Jordan books done. Well, I just kind of gave it away. But anyway, that's where the names come from. It's a big, huge book series. And it's really good if you're into like the fantasy stuff without all the George R.R. Martin sex in every 5 scenes for pretty much no reason. But you just like a good story. They're good books. So, back to this. Now, once we, like I said, we did the melody, and you saw how to do that melody and make it a solo, and then how to take the melody and mix it with a scale. This time, that was the A minor scale. I'm going to take the C major, basically work out of a C major, and blend it with the melody line. Let me see how this goes. Get a little gain for the solo. Okay, that don't work. It changes all the time. So we're going back to clean. Alright. So out of a C major position, I'm going to do it out of here. So. So there again, all I'm doing is taking, hey Keith, what's up, man? I'm taking a C major scale, but here and there I'm falling back to the melody line, and you'll create licks that way. Like I say, I was doing just. Come back into part of the melody line there. So that's a way I would advise you to, if you want to start learning how to create licks and not just learn lick. Which learning licks is good. Don't ever think I'm discouraging you from learning licks, because I'm going to start a lick of the day thing online. Madison gave me that idea. That'll pop up on the Patreon and probably on Facebook too. So, but it is good to learn licks. But if you can take that lick and do something else with it, then the melody helps with that. Like I say, learn your melody. If you're learning any song, give you an old one. The rhythm is Keith will remember this one. It's Secret Danger Man from Johnny Rivers. I used to do that. I haven't done it in years, but that's where I completely developed the solos. I learned the melody line, and then melody lines can take you a long way towards learning licks, and creating licks. That's the biggie. Create licks, as opposed to when you learn a lick, do something else with it. Add one note, just one note, and that one note will turn into two notes, and that two notes will turn into four, and then you'll go, wait a minute, this other lick I know kind of, and then you can start blending them together. That's the best way I know to take it, and I'm still working on it. Like I say, I still take lessons, so take anything I say kind of with a grain of salt, I guess. But I have done it, I think, long enough to give halfway decent advice. And melodies, I think, is a big thing that we forget a lot of times, and I did. It's one of the things I got back into doing. Playing with Andy, and the thing is, I always did it on saxophone. I always learned the melody line on saxophone. It was what I was supposed to do, and I never thought, well, let's do that on guitar and build off of it. So, give me the smack in the head for loser. But that would be, and if there's songs that you guys think it'd be really cool to know, let me know what song, especially Madison. You are currently the paying member on Patreon. So if there is a song you want me to break down, the chords, the melody, something maybe you're working on with your band, send it to me, and I will do a video of it. I will post it on Patreon. I'll post the sneak peek of it everywhere for free, but Patreon will have it, the full version of it. Of course, Madison, you're already a member to get that, so you'll get it for free. Or for what you're already paying. But yeah, let me know what y'all want to hear, because I'm building a Patreon for all of you guys, hopefully, where we can build a little cool community on there and hang out on Wednesday nights. Like I said, if 8:30 is good for you guys, I think most of us are sitting up doing nothing on Wednesdays unless the ball games are on. I know the NBA Finals are going on right now. Don't know if it's on tonight or not. Who knows? But anyway, so there is both lessons that I had this week mixed into one. One was let's learn the Richard Marx song, and the other was let's do licks. So hopefully the two of those kind of show you how you can do licks just by learning a melody to a song. Because I had to learn the melody to do the Richard Marx. I'm going to mix all of it together now. Let me see here how I'm doing this. Alright, I'm just going to solo over this, and I'm going to go into more positions that I was just in. I was staying pretty low on the neck earlier. So I'm going to go up and just do some full soloing on this and show you guys what all can be done with a melody. And I'll keep it to the melody, the C major formations, and A minor. So hopefully that will is clear as mud. So there hopefully is a halfway decent example for you. Can I do it on bass? All right, here we go. There you go. There's the bass part. Probably isn't much more than that. I don't know. There's just something to learn tonight. You can post a video and show us how the bass part goes. All right. Once again, if you guys have not been over, go check out the Patreon page. I know each one of them gives you like 7 days free, but I am going to do a lot of the live streams free for the first couple of weeks here now that it is fully active and going, just so everybody can see what it's about. I did upgrade my Zoom. I have to pay a monthly fee, another monthly fee, but meetings can be longer than 40 minutes now. So if you do sign up for lessons, I say they're 30 minutes. We went the full 40 yesterday until Zoom cut us off. And if it hadn't cut us off, we might still be going. I don't know. So check out the Patreon page. It's free to sign up. You will get some free videos on there. And for the first little bit, you'll be able to see the live streams at least starting next week. Next week's will definitely be free, and probably the week after that. So I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go in here. I have chicken marinating, and I'm going to stuff it with with spinach and pepperoni and mozzarella cheese, and I'm going to eat well. So you guys have a good night. Sorry if I stuck Richard Marx in your head for the rest of the night, but if I did, go work on it. You've got it in your head. You know how it should sound. Even on bass. for you, Keith. I mean, you can do, you know how to walk around and move through scales. Just think C, G, A minor, and F. See, I'm gonna throw a minor at you because it changes the progression a little bit. Let's sit around and mess with that song. Not one of my favorite songs, but I've had fun with it. So hopefully you will too. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to cook dinner. Have a great night, everybody.